What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is healthy and well today. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we'll be reacting to one of them ones. Man, I love these type of videos. Seriously. Today we'll be reacting to dealing with a medical emergency in Australia. Our recent experience. Now, I don't know if, well, I'm sure it's just this man. I'm not sure if there's anybody else in this video, but I don't want to leave them out as well. Forgive me if I do, but I'm gonna just say this man for now, or anybody else in this video. If it's 2, 3, or more, I don't know if they're Americans or if they are citizens of Australia. Like born and bred in Australia, not like gained the citizenship when they moved down. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is gonna be interesting. But let's go ahead and jump right into this. Really, really excited. Like I said, highly recommended. Original video link will be down below in the description.
So these last few weeks have been really tough.
It was a Monday afternoon. I was working in the shed and
Tough.
it was a...
So these last few weeks have been really tough.
It was a Monday afternoon. I was working in the shed and I started getting a pain in my stomach. Well, I'd been wearing this blue dress all day. It was a very beautiful blue dress. But I thought, okay, maybe I'm getting a little bit chunky here. I thought it's possibly just, I've been wearing it all day. Possibly it's just been pulling on my stomach. And maybe that's, maybe I just shouldn't wear this dress, or I need to lose a little bit of weight. I carried on working for another few hours. I thought, oh, this is very unpleasant. I went and changed into my pajamas because they're super comfortable. Sporting them now, me and Betty. Anyway, it didn't help. I just thought, I'm just going to go to bed. I'm just going to go and sleep this off, and I'm sure by the morning I'll feel absolutely fine. But it got to about 10 o'clock at night and I still wasn't asleep. The pain was getting worse at this stage. I was thinking, this isn't normal. This isn't a cramp. You know when you get a stomachache and you get a cramp and it comes and goes in waves? It wasn't anything like that.
Oh my gosh,
constant.
Yeah, we all get those, or we all have at least experienced that sometime in our life. Horrible, man. 1 minute your day is going good, next minute everything just pauses. It's like, wait, be quiet. You just wait, whoa, my stomach hurting. Like, bro.
Normal. This isn't a cramp. You know when you get a stomachache and you get a cramp and it comes and goes in waves? It wasn't anything like that. It was a constant pain. It had been going on for 7 hours at this stage.
Maz just asked me to take her to the hospital. She knew something was really wrong.
Every little bump in the road, I really felt it. It just was horrible. Ben was being as careful as he could not to go too fast over bumps. So he was lovely. He's always lovely.
Man, shout out to Ben. Ben trying to get her there in a hurry, but not like in a rough way, I guess. He trying to like go as slow as possible, but as fast as possible at the same time, so that she don't feel him going over all these bumps.
We got to the hospital.
like that all the way.
They don't allow visitors in at this particular hospital that I went to, so I had to go in on my own, and at this stage I was getting more poorly. Ben came home. I went for a CT scan. There's a little bit of a funny story to this. It must have been about 2 o'clock in the morning, and the nurse gave me my 3rd lot of anti-sickness medication, and it was supposed to be some kind of pain relief, but she said it will make you very drowsy. I took it and I was beginning to feel the drowsiness. I was drifting off to sleep, and all of these crazy Alice in Wonderland images were coming into my head, but I could see them, but not the pleasant ones. They were really spinny, and I did not like it at all.
They had her on that stuff. She was in there hallucinating. She was seeing things. Yo, no. That's why I be telling the doctors, nah, don't give me that stuff. I'm going to be up in here tripping.
They were really spinny, and I did not like it at all. It was real freaky stuff. I had to open my eyes. I couldn't let myself fall asleep because it was just so awful. And then the nurse kept looking at my monitors from the office, and I was beginning to get a bit paranoid.
So I got woken up at around about 2 a.m. with Maz texting me some really weird stuff. She was saying stuff like, I don't feel safe, the nurse is drugging me to make her life a little bit easier and keep me quiet. She was completely paranoid that this nurse was up to no good.
And Ben just said, yes, you have been drugged by the nurses. It's absolutely fine. That's what they do. So the doctor came in, I think it was about 5 o'clock in the morning, and said to me, we finally got your CT results through. Your small intestine has twisted. You need to get surgery pretty quickly.
I tried to comprehend. I just can't. What do you mean your intestine twisted? Bro, what does that feel like? Oh, what does that feel like? Bro, y'all gotta understand, we human. So when you get like a little tummy ache, you know, it don't matter. You could be a grown man, 300 pounds. Go ahead and get a stomach ache. I bet you curl up. How much you wanna bet you crunch up? I bet you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then they talk about something, your intestines is twisted. Imagine that feeling now. I don't care. You could have got punched in the abdomen. You could have got hit with a crazy shoulder or elbow or kick, or it won't compare to that. What does that feel like?
Intestine has twisted. You need to get surgery pretty quickly. He said, we're going to have to prep you for surgery. We're going to stick a tube up your nose into your stomach, and then we're going to get an ambulance to transport you to the hospital, another hospital for surgery.
See, the ambulance is what I'm talking about. I gotta ditch the ambulance. I gotta ditch the ambulance. You know, me being American, if I was there in that situation, what do you think I would say? Ambulance? Mm-hmm. No, I'm good, I'm fine. I promise you, I'm perfectly fine. And I feel like, you know, it's some type of superpower, because as soon as people mention the ambulance, hey, we get right back up to normal. Brush that dust off, you tripping. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, go home. They talk about ambulance. They trying to help me too much. No. You know? And I know y'all probably be out there like, it's free. With the straightest face looking at me like, what is wrong with this man for real? Like, his whole intestine is twisted up right now. He in pain. And he talking about something, you know, don't take me to the hospital. Imagine how people look at us when we go to their country. They're like, what is wrong with you? Are you okay? You know, because when something's wrong or you're hurt or something and you don't know what it is, it's unusual. And it keep getting worse and worse. And she kept working through it. Shout out to her for real. Right on. It's like, come on now. You just working through it. She was perfectly fine. But it gets to a point where it's like, you need to take an ambulance. We go to other countries and act a fool because, you know, they mention the hospital, the ambulance, and we're giving them a hard time for no reason. Not even knowing that we're going to receive their benefits in that country. Oh my gosh, bro. But now I know. So, you know, hopefully nothing happens. No, I go out there. But at least I know, like, certain countries I go to, we good. We good.
Surgery. We're going to stick a tube up your nose into your stomach, and then we're going to get an ambulance to transport you to the hospital, another hospital for surgery.
Right away, just like that.
Once I found out that Mum was in hospital, I realised that she must have been very sick. I was a bit worried at first. I realised, okay, I've got to get this together. And then I just took over the house and made sure everything was done, and there was nothing for Mum and Dad to worry about.
When there's a problem, Lily really flies into, I guess, like a nurturing and mothering role. Don't get me wrong, she doesn't have to. We don't expect that of our children, but it's just how she naturally is. Couldn't really have a better daughter than Lily, because she is just awesome.
And
nice.
Having Lily by my side made everything
Lily.
so much easier. I knew that I could go to the hospital and everything at home was going to be running.
See, that's why in the US you got to have some kids. Yeah, you got to have some kids, you know, for your older days. You got to be strategic with it. It's for my Americans listening. I mean, anybody else around the country? You want to go ahead and, you know, have fun and enjoy your young days and not want to have kids. Go ahead. Because when you reach about 50, I want to say, when you reach around there, it's over. You talk about your neck, your back, your shoulders, your knees, your calves, your thighs. Nobody want to hear that, you know? Now, if you got kids, beneficial. Man, have them go ahead and do that. Man, go take the trash out. You know, I shouldn't even have to tell you. Yeah. Like certain things is like, come on. Now, they are not maids or anything. No. That's not the only purpose to have kids. But if you ever do, beneficial. Beneficial. Now, you just got to be a good parent yourself and hope you don't chase them away at a young age. So when they move out, now ain't nobody around to really take care of you when you get older and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? For real. As for my American parents out there, stop being helicopter parents, because when it's time for them to leave the crib, they're gone. How they gonna take care of you? Huh? What, they done went to a whole nother state? Oh my gosh. Y'all better stop being helicopter parents, yeah? Be like Lily. You know, you're gonna have kids like Lily one day. You know, they're gonna hold it down. Facts.
Couldn't really have a better daughter than
If you have kids.
because she is just awesome.
And having Lily by my side made everything so much easier. I knew that I could go to the hospital and everything at home was going to be running really well.
Nice.
It's such a relief in these times to have a daughter like that.
I've got to say, having that tube inserted was probably one of the most horrible experiences, and I'm absolutely traumatized by it. Not only did it look flipping awful, but it was really horrible and I couldn't stop gagging. The nurses, including the one who I thought was trying to drug me earlier on.
They had you awake with the tube going through your nose? Oh, I hope not.
Just awesome.
And having
Better out of all. Don't get me wrong, she doesn't
And then I just sit around.
transport you to the hospital, another hospital for surgery.
Once I found out for house,
Lily really flies into, she is
so much running really well. It's such a relief in these times to have
Oh,
a
we're
daughter.
not letting that slide. Hold on real quick. Because you was awake when they put that tube in your... Y'all ever did the COVID testing? Remember they used to shove that thing up? No, I don't know how they used to. I don't know how they do it in Australia. They probably do it the right way, I tell you that. The US? Like, what are you digging for gold? What are you thinking to find something? I'm like, my gosh. And I'm like, yeah, it got to a point I was like, ma'am, I thought she was reaching my eye. I'm not being dramatic. Yeah, that's why people be thinking I'm being dramatic. I'm not being dramatic. Strac don't be dramatic. I don't need to exaggerate these stories every single time. I'm like, oh my gosh. She's like messing up my nerves or something. I was like, there's no way she's pulling this swab out and my nose, my sinuses ain't damaged. You know? This blow my mind. They'll tell me she was awake and they had that tube in there like that, you know?
by the nurses. It's absolutely fine. That's what they do. So the doctor came in, I think it was about 5 o'clock in the morning, and said to me, we finally got your CT results through. Your small intestine has twisted. We're going to stick a tube up your nose into your stomach. And to prep you for surgery, we're going to stick a tube up your nose.
But she was like, they had her hooked on that stuff. So wait a minute. So was she awake? Because she said she didn't want to go to sleep. So did it kind of like make her drowsy and, you know, she was able to tolerate it a little bit more? Yeah. Let me know. Y'all ever had that stuff before? Don't be in the comments. Oh my gosh. Do not be in the comments telling me, Strac, me and my buddies one time has. Stop it, bro. We are talking about hospitals. We're talking about hospitals, medication, and surgeries. I don't want to hear what you and your boys was doing on the corner. I know I'm gonna have some people like one time I tried this, it had me feeling just like that.
So made sure everything was done and there was nothing for mum and dad to worry about.
When there's a problem, Lily really flies into, I guess like
We heard, I forgot, we
have
get ready to watch this
better
part all over
By
again.
my side made everything so much easier. I knew that I could go to the hospital and everything at home was going to be running really well. It's such a relief in these times to have a daughter like that.
I've got to say, having that tube inserted was probably one of the most horrible experiences, and I'm absolutely traumatized by it. Not only did it look flipping awful, but it was really horrible and I couldn't stop gagging. The nurses, including the one who I thought was trying to drug me earlier on in the morning, were very sweet to me and very kind. Oh my God, that's going to make me teary. But it was just the worst experience. Anyone who's had it will know it was disgusting. Now, I know some of you who are on Instagram, you saw this and I got a lot of questions asking if I'd had a nose job. I did not have a nose job in hospital. I have actually had that done previously, but that's a whole nother story. On this occasion, no nose job. Instagram, you saw this nose, but it was just the worst experience. Anyone who's had it will know it was disgusting. Now, I know some of you who are on Instagram, you saw this and I got a lot of questions asking if I'd had a nose job. I did not have I got a lot of questions. Now, I know some of you who are on Instagram, you saw this and I got a lot of questions asking if I'd had a nose job. I did not have a nose job.
Damn, y'all nosy. Y'all all on her Instagram asking this poor woman all these questions. You had a nose job. Did you have a nose job? Like, damn. You know, I didn't want to like really kind of focus on it too much. I'm like, what'd she say? People in your comments messing with you. You know, even if they not, y'all nosy. Stop being so nosy. Stop being so nosy, bro. I'm trying to say they seen this and wondered if I had a nose job. That's why I kept replaying it. Seeing what? Ain't nothing going on that would have maybe. Hey, did you have a nose job? What? Wait, what?
Just the worst experience. Anyone who's had it will know it was
Leave this woman alone.
Now, I know some of you who are on Instagram, you saw this and I got a lot of questions asking if I'd had a nose job. I did not have a nose job in hospital. I have actually had that done previously, but that's a whole nother story. On this occasion, no nose job.
Maz got taken by ambulance early in the morning to Skoo Hospital. It's an absolutely fantastic hospital here on the Sunshine Coast.
It don't really look like a hospital. It look like a university. Oh.
Hospital. It's an absolutely fantastic hospital here on the Sunshine Coast.
I went into this first ward and it's like a holding ward, I guess, for arrivals. So the wardies collected me, took me to the ward that I needed to go for my surgery. A doctor from the surgical team came in. He said he'd looked at the CT scan and that it wasn't just one twist, it was two. It's very unusual apparently, so
So not only am I sitting here feeling crappy, I'm twisted up and everything, you gonna come back and hit me with the news telling me I got two twists?
usually it's something that it was two. It's very unusual apparently, so usually it's something that happens if you've had a previous abdominal surgery or a C-section. I've never had anything. It's really still a mystery as to how it happened. I had no choice, I had to have surgery and luckily they...
So if neither of those two things happen to you, it could still happen to you? Your tubes or I guess like your abdomen can still get twisted up? Man, how is that even possible? Oh my gosh, I can't even like imagine that pain. Oh.
They were saying they were gonna...
Like I've experienced some pains to the point where it's like you feel it in your abdomen and you can't even breathe. It's like like you can't even breathe type of pain. Like whoa, like I can't like a sports related injury, but like I can't. Oh my gosh.
Or a C-section. I've never had anything. It's really still a mystery as to how it happened. I had no choice. I had to have surgery and luckily they were saying they were going to do keyhole surgery, but if there was any bruising internally or any damage, then obviously they would need to do a full surgery. In my preparation for surgery, the nurse presented me with my attire for the surgery, which consisted of a beautiful lilac gown, some white stockings with orange socks, like grippy socks, you know, like you'd go to a trampoline place with. The final piece to this outfit was net knickers, which to be honest, I wasn't expecting lingerie, but I got to rank. They were absolutely disgusting. Not long after that, they took me for surgery. I can't speak highly enough about how it was. Everybody was so kind, so professional. Can't even praise them enough because I felt so comfortable despite feeling like rubbish. I was so well looked after and I didn't stress at all. It was just, this is what's going to happen. I'll be very lucky if I only have keyhole surgery, and that's fine. It is what it is. So
Man.
I went in, had the surgery, and then woke up in recovery, and I was like, okay, so what's happened? Oh, is it bad? I'm so grateful they told me. Everything went very well. It was just twisted. There were no further complications. We've untwisted you, and it's only been keyhole surgery. They called Ben, let him know that I was okay. And
Nice.
the great thing about it is,
You know, Ben was sitting there too. Ooh, let me tell you something. Ben was probably sitting there waiting for that call. Hey, no, waiting for the call. I know I would have been like, I'm sitting there shaking like, hey, I don't want you calling me right now. You know, I'm waiting for the call. I would have been stressed out. Like, what? The surgery?
called Ben, let him know that I was okay. And
Nice.
the great thing about it is that the second hospital I went to allowed visitors. I was accommodated with a bedroom to myself, and it had an ensuite. It was a lovely bedroom with television, even though I didn't watch it. But the main thing for me is a private bathroom. I hate sharing bathrooms, it just grosses me out. Post-op wise, I was on hourly observations, and that consisted of temperature, blood pressure, and all the normal observations that you get in hospital. And I had my cannula with my IV fluids, which was wonderful. My paracetamol through there, brilliant. Anyway, kept me feeling good. And then I began to be able to walk up and down the corridors within a few days. That was my outing from my bedroom.
Nice.
But to be honest, I just needed to sleep. I was just catching up on a lot of sleep and not wanting to move too much because obviously stomach surgery it's not nice, is it? There's one more part to this story, which is I'm very calm. I don't overreact. And I was on a fluid diet from after the surgery, which was on Tuesday, till I think Thursday night, and I was only allowed drinks and jelly. I never want to see jelly again. But on the Thursday night, I was told I could have soup with my diet now. I was allowed, you know, that little bit of extra texture. So I had a beautiful soup, but then in the morning, they didn't give me soup for breakfast. They presented me with more jelly. I just didn't want it. When it came to lunchtime, they brought me more liquid, and I said, "Oh no, I'm allowed soup now." And they said, "Oh no, we only do soup in the evening, not at lunchtime." And at this point, I was so desperate for food that I just cried. I still had my nose tube, so I looked like this absolute monster, and I just cried. Nothing had broken me. Throughout the pain, throughout the nose tube, throughout the surgery, everything, I was so calm. The thing that broke me was not being given food, like a proper meal by Friday.
I feel you.
Just couldn't stop crying. And the
No,
nurse
hospital
came.
food ain't no joke for real. But downstairs they had the restaurant. You know, if you are a patient, you don't even get to experience the restaurant. I really feel bad for the patients. You know, the people that really be visiting with them and everything, man, they no good if they down there in that cafe. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Man, y'all no good. You better be eating applesauces and soups with your partner or your friend, whoever it is in that bed. You better not be down to that cafe area. Boy, don't let me catch you in that line, that cafe area. Yo, like, that is crazy, bro. I got, like, you know, I gotta start off with you. We both gonna eat when we get out of here. Food on me. How about that? Like, I can't just.
By Friday. Just couldn't stop crying. And the nurse came in And she was so sweet. At that point, they whipped out the nose tube and gave me a meal, and it was the best salad I've ever had. It was so
Ooh,
delightful. I
salad?
was so grateful. That was my only wobble. The girl's got to eat. I can honestly say the food that I was given once I was allowed to eat was really delicious. And then I was allowed home on the Saturday evening.
She just wanted to get back to everything like normal, but she couldn't, so we forced her into having
I
a...
like how they accommodated to her. Like, I'm imagining her with the tube and everything and what she's going through, and she's sitting there sobbing. Out of this whole time, she's crying only over some food. You didn't give us no issues or nothing. I'm like, man, I'm putting my job on the line if it's that serious with these policies. Yo, can we get her? I mean, if she can't have soup, can we at least get her something else? They got her a salad. Rather than in the U.S., it's more of like it's a policy with them. Like, oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. It's just we have to give you this. I guess part of their job. On to the next. Like they don't really care about you like that for saying I ain't like that. That's so cruel because it was somebody like me, Strac. If it was them in that bed, I don't care if you're my worst enemy. I'm gonna take care of you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go get you the salad, something you need. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to break you down. I'm not about to no. I'm not. You know. I like how they accommodated for her. I like how they accommodated.
back to everything like normal, but she couldn't, so we forced her into having a good rest.
It's
I wouldn't
been
even do
just
it to my
over
worst
2
enemy,
weeks since
man.
my surgery. I am obviously still taking it easy, but I feel like I'm on the ball mentally again.
Throughout all of this, we can honestly say that the standard of healthcare where we live in Queensland is exceptional.
Yeah.
The surgery that I had and the care that I had was actually on the public system. So a lot of people have private health insurance. We don't. However, we have in the past paid for private medical care. This occasion we didn't because it was an emergency situation and it was dealt with very quickly. But in the past, Ben had a tonsillectomy, which we paid for privately because we wanted it to be something that happened straight away. But on this occasion, we used public health care, and honestly, I don't think you could beat the service that we received. I'm so grateful for that. To live in Australia, you know, a country that's not where I've come from, and to be treated in such an exceptional way, I feel very lucky. One thing about Queensland I know that is different to some of the other states is that we have free ambulances. I know that in some areas you actually have to pay for ambulances. I thought we were very lucky with the NHS in England, but wow. I've seen that in some areas you actually have to pay for ambulance.
Wait, whoa. Some countries or like some areas out there in Queensland or like in Australia in general that you got to pay for? Cause I'm not going out there on the ease like you know. I want to feel that way. I'm not gonna be like relaxing, free healthcare, free ambulance. I'm not about to be walking around like that. Then we got to be extra careful, you know. I got to become more educated because, dude. I thought you said what area this is? This area don't got the free ambulance. Yeah. Facts. It's about educating yourself. That way, I know what area to get hurt in. Well, we ain't getting hurt out there, baby. We good. You know what I'm saying? We good. Stay safe. Be protected. Be all right. You know, you got to just be aware. I don't ever want to have the experience, you know, at all.
Have free ambulances. I know that in some areas you actually have to pay for ambulances. I thought we were very lucky with the NHS in England, but wow. I've seen situations in the UK where when necessary, when there's a real emergency, doctors and nurses, they come flying out of nowhere and you receive the most incredible care when you need it. I've seen that firsthand, and so I in no way ever want to discredit the NHS because I think that the NHS staff are just the most incredible people. For anyone who doesn't know the NHS, that's the British healthcare system. What I think here is that they seem to have more resources and they're not so short on staff and the staff aren't treated so terribly as they are in the UK. And for that reason, it feels like there's more of them, and it feels like they're not under the pump to that level. The team aren't better, they're just better resourced. The care, I couldn't fault it. Even when I told you the story of me thinking that the nurse was drugging me, that was just the drugs. She truly was wonderful. I just want to clarify this. Actually, I don't know what it was, but I must find out what it was because I never ever want to have that again.
Hey, let me tell you, hey, now, all right now. Undergo this surgery without the, I promise you, bro, it's gonna feel, people be like, what are they doing in my body? I promise you. Do it, I don't even want you to do it without that, but I think it was good that they did that for that situation, facts, because none of us want to ever experience a surgery without it. Just know that. So while you want it, you got to be thinking like, what if I was getting surgery without it? But of course, when you all hooked up and everything, you ain't really thinking, your mind ain't thinking, right? You ain't thinking straight, man. So you ain't even thinking about that. All you know is you feel unusual. You know? No, but this was a great video. Feel free to share your honest thoughts and experiences down below in the comments section. Whether you were an American, or Brit, or someone coming from any other country around the world, as a matter of fact, you know, not just Australia. What was it like witnessing and, you know, actually experiencing the healthcare system in Australia? What was it like? Please share your honest thoughts and experiences in the comment section. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Turn all post notifications on. Follow my Twitch and subscribe to all my other YouTube channels in the description down below. Stay safe, everyone. I love you all, and I hope to catch you all in the next reaction video.